So I kind of had the last second opportunity to get a session in before the end of the year. It turned out I was originally supposed to be at work today, but they kind of canceled the whole thing and they told us yesterday. So I had a surprise day off and I got the chance to skate. I really don't know how much I'm gonna do. One, because I haven't gotten to have a full session and really go at it in like most of a month. And I don't know how my right ankle is doing. So I might try kickflips in a little bit, but I'm not gonna try that right now. So we're just gonna kind of cruise around, do some warm-ups and see how I'm feeling. Oh fuck, nothing like coming to your hometown park and just seeing it really turn into shit. Like, and I wear a size 10.5, so that's how big this fucking hole is. That did slide really good. Part of it feels like it's fun. That was a weird back tail, but I'll keep it. So what, front tail slide, not back tail? I should have known. So a couple of those tail slides stuck because on this side, I don't know how easy you can see it unless I come up to it. There's actually this like chip. So the one front tail, I actually hit that and that's what stopped me. And for some reason, a lot of people don't skate this rail. And I've gotten a few tricks on this thing too. I'm not gonna do anything crazy, but we're gonna at least try to get like backboard to fakie on it. So before I start this battle with the switch front tail, just in case anybody has caught onto it, not that I'm like assuming people would, but I know my one video people just happened to notice there's an ICP writing on the pipe in my basement, which I did comment on the video too. Basically that house sat vacant for a year before we bought it, and we've had it for a couple years, but we're thinking, because when we were walking through the house to look at it, we noticed that it was already on the pipe, so that's been there since before we moved in. So that was just kind of like a random thing, but I didn't expect anybody to actually notice that in the background, but apparently somebody did, which is kind of funny. But yeah, in case somebody's ever wondering, so yeah, my nose is slightly crooked. That's actually because 4 years ago I was actually skating in this pump track back here, and it was actually right over in that area. There's a little kid on a bike, or not like a little kid, he was probably close to 10, but he cut me off on his bike and we collided. The side of his head hit my nose and I actually broke my nose, which if I find the picture of like right after it happened, I'll insert it right here so you guys can see. Basically, I went to the hospital like 6 hours later. I wasn't gonna go to the hospital because I could still breathe. Like, even though my nose was like fucked up and crooked, I could still breathe perfectly fine. Aside from like obviously like initially because there's blood coming out of my nose. But yeah, like I could still breathe fine. I had a little bit of a headache, which I'm assuming is because I got hit in the fucking head. But I had a little bit of a headache, so me and a friend actually skated to a carry-out gas station like down the road, and I went and got a fucking Red Bull for my headache. And I told the nurse that too when I was at the hospital, and literally she started laughing and said that's the most dude thing I've ever heard of. And that's not a lie either, that's a true story. Like if I had my friend sitting next to me right now that was with me when it happened, he would tell you that we literally skated to get a Red Bull. But yeah, when I got to the hospital, we went to the ER, I got an x-ray, but they pretty much told me the ER will not reset a broken nose. You have to go to like an EMT. So had a nice little hospital bill, because the thing that sucked with that too is that's the 1 month in my entire life that I had not had health insurance, and that's when it happened. But luckily somehow it ended up getting covered and I got reimbursed for it. I don't know how, but yeah, they pretty much said it was a clean enough break and that it would heal on its own. But if for some reason it didn't, I would have to go to an EMT. They would have to basically re-break my nose and reset it. But it, for the most part, healed on its own. Like you can still see there's like a slight curve. But I mean, I can breathe fine and everything, so I've never fucking worried about it. But yeah, it's kind of random, but I just figured in case anybody's ever like noticed that and wondered why my nose is fucked up, that's why. It's because I ran into a fucking kid because he wasn't paying attention. So, and I actually show you guys where it happened too. So basically, this is an entire asphalt pump track that somebody donated and put in. But basically, I came around this way and I was going fast, because with it being asphalt, like unless you have like big soft wheels, like cruiser wheels, like you have to like pump to work around this thing. But I came around this corner, was coming through this way, and I was getting ready to literally go straight. And the kid on his bike, and I'm not even joking, so you can see like there's this weird little divot here, but the main part of the track is going this way. But he legitimately cut through this spot to come over here as I was coming up, and we both saw each other like at the last second, and we both tried to jump off the side here, and that's where we collided. So yeah, I was like standing off the grass to the side with like blood pulling out of my nose. Oh, I got up there, I just didn't stay on it. Fuck. problem was I have my foot like way up here instead of like in here. Like the first time I ever did this trick, it took me so fucking long. And I almost did it within 10 minutes. They're going in, that's pretty good. Well, that's two that have slid. What else has gotta happen? We're doing it. Oh. Come on. Oh my god, and the random ones like that happen where they're like good. Oh, I had it. That would have been the best one too. Fuck. Okay, so I got that switch front and tail yesterday, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to just use this video as just a regular video, or if I wanted this to be the start of my birthday challenge again. Because my last skating video, I mentioned I was going to start that up again, and I originally wanted to do it yesterday and get it started, but after that battle, and like I'm still kind of iffy about that switch front tail, because it was clean, but it was kind of quick. Like I would have loved to have like sat on it a little bit longer, like slid a little bit farther before coming out of it, but it was still clean. But I think I'm gonna go ahead and use it because I still have a lot of other tricks I'm gonna have to do for the challenge anyway. And technically it is under like what I categorize as a trick that's eligible for this, where it's either gotta be a trick that I have never done before or a trick I haven't done in a long time. And before yesterday, I have only done that trick one other time, and that was like over a year ago. I did it one time on the same ledge. And yesterday, I did it a total of like 3 times and slid a bunch of them. So I definitely have a better understanding of how to do the trick. And at the end of the day, I still landed it and it was clean. I just would have liked to have slid longer. But I think with that, I'm gonna go ahead and make this the first video of my birthday skate challenge. We're gonna start it a little bit earlier than I did last year, because last year I started it like, I wanna say like mid to late January, something like that. And it kind of put a little bit of pressure on myself when I wanted to do this because of the fact that it felt like I was in more of a time crunch because my birthday is March 12th. So that gave me like 2 months max to do all these trips to go to different skate parks and trying to figure out tricks that I wanted to do on the spot, because it seemed like if I planned tricks out in advance, it made it harder because then I had that pressure of like, I need to figure this trick out, where instead if I just went to a spot or a location and just kind of felt it out and decided to just see what came to mind, it worked easier. So like yesterday, I just randomly had the idea to try to relearn switch front tails. So it kind of worked out. But yeah, I think this is going to be the official start of me pursuing this challenge again. So if you guys have never seen my original videos of the first time I did it last year, basically, and you can kind of use whatever time frame you want to do, whatever. This is just the way that I approached it. But if you want to use the general challenge and try to do it yourself to see if you can do it, go for it. I would love to see also if anybody can film it for themselves. But basically, the challenge I made up last year was I used 2 different numbers to reference. So basically, whatever age I'm turning within that year is the number of tricks that I need to do that I have either never done or haven't done in a long time. So for example, the switch front tail, I'd only ever done one, so I don't do that trick that often, so I figured let me do it again. And the other number is the number of years that I've been riding for in that same year. So that number is the total number of different obstacles I have to hit for the challenge. So for at least the first however many, I cannot repeat any obstacles. So right now, until I've hit that number, I cannot use that same ledge again. But it's up to me too, if I like, after I've done that number, if I want to go back and redo it, or if I want to just try to keep it different obstacles the whole way through, which last year I intended to do, but it got like down to the wire at the very end, and I didn't know if I was gonna get another session before my birthday. So I just gave in and did 2 more tricks on an obstacle I already used. So 3 tricks in the whole thing were done on one obstacle, like on the same obstacle, but everything else was different. But basically the numbers that I have to use this time. So last year I was turning 27 and had been skating for 19 years. Obviously this time I'm gonna be turning 28 in March, and this year will be 20 years of skating. So I have to do 28 tricks with at least 20 different obstacles. And since we're starting this a little bit earlier, it might make it a little easier for me, because also I have a different job than I did last year too. So my schedule's a little bit different, and it's gonna be kind of hit or miss on how often I get to skate. So it's kind of a better idea to get out earlier and start this earlier this time. But yeah, this is gonna be the official start of that. So out of 28 tricks and 20 obstacles, I've officially knocked out 1. I would have loved to do more, but I actually only had like 3 hours to skate yesterday, and that trick literally, for some reason, took over an hour to do. Even though I almost did it within 10 minutes, I think a lot of it was the ledge itself was actually kind of sticky, because the sides are just wood, but the top is like that composite decking material. But that thing's been around for so long and so many people have skated it, it kind of wears in, it gets like grooves in it, the wood gets dry. Even when you wax it after so long, like it's not the same. So I was kind of battling it on a dry ledge, essentially. So that's why I had a lot of tries where I was getting stuck on it when I did lock in. So I would have loved to at least do like one or two more tricks yesterday, but I knew it was like unlikely that was gonna happen. So yeah, but other than that though, I mean, I'm still happy I got 1 trick to roll away from, and I'm kind of surprised I even did 3 of them. Even though the first 2 were complete shit, like you guys saw, like tic-tac or leaning weird, whatever. But yeah, this will be the official first start of this, so I hope you guys enjoy this. And if you guys want to try this for yourselves too, because the other part of this is, so I have to do, for the numbers that I need to use, so I need to do 28 tricks with 20 different obstacles. And the goal that I use for myself is to try to film all of these tricks before my birthday and make an entire edit of all the tricks to post on my birthday as like a present to myself, to show that like it's for myself essentially, but it's that way I can show myself I am still pushing, I can still progress. Because I'm sure a lot of you guys might have this too, like even when you're not that old, you might kind of get in your head and start doubting yourself, like, can I still do this? Like, how much more can I progress? So it helps when I know there's a lot of people skating out there that are older than me and can still push harder too. It kind of helps, but then it also helps when I'm doing this on my own firsthand. Like, I'm pushing myself to do it. So it kind of helps break that thought of, like, how much can I do? Like, it allows me to kind of just let myself go and realize, like, it's literally just a mental thing. Like, I can still do this stuff and it doesn't matter. But I mean, I know I can skate anyway, but I think it's just the thought of, like, when I'm getting less and less time to skate, it feels like it's harder to progress. So doing this challenge kind of helps put it back in my head of, like, I can do it. So yeah, so we're gonna film all these tricks. It's gonna be the same thing like I did last time. If you have seen them, if you haven't, you can check. I have a playlist called Skateboarding. It's Skateboard to Skateboarding. I can't remember what I titled it, but there's a few videos because there's a few different sessions I had to do. But yeah, you can check all the videos out. And I did also make the final edit and share it on YouTube as well. So you guys can watch the entire thing. You can watch the entire thing of the process. You can watch the whole edit with all the tricks in it. And the thing is, none of those tricks are going to be used in this. So every trick I did in that last challenge, these are going to be all different tricks too. So there was a couple tricks in there that I'd only done one time, but I feel like it would be cheating if I was to reuse those. So we're not going to do that. This is going to be all new tricks again. Some of the obstacles are obviously going to be the same because the locations are where I can get to. So I might reuse these obstacles for the challenge, but none of those tricks are going to be what I do in this one. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you enjoy this journey that I go on again, going through frustration and anger to learn these tricks just to prove a point to myself. But yeah, thank you guys so much if you've been watching these videos, and we will catch up in the next video, whether it's more skateboarding videos like this or any gaming videos. So I'll see you guys then.